Hey, everybody, welcome. So glad you're here. My name is Meg Johnson, and it is Tuesday, May the 10th, and you are on for our community time. And tonight you have something special in store from you. You are going to hear from some of my incredible friends, and you are going to be inspired. But before we do that, let's see if I can mute everybody. Yeah. Okay. So before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and screen share and tell you a little bit about my story. So back in January of this year, I'm a coach. I've been a coach for goodness, almost 5 years. And back in January, I needed to recommit to my health. And so I wanted to share with you what happened in my world in about 6 weeks, because I know we're getting started on the summer Slimdown challenge. And I know you're all here tonight because you want tips for success. So let's do it. So here's my story. I started the program, recommitted to my health in January, and I lost, I can't even believe it, 23 pounds in 6 weeks. And I went from the photo on the left to the one on the right, and just fell deeper in love with this program and what it can do for us and the way that we feel when we are all in. I had more energy. I was sleeping better. I feel like I was showing up better as a mama and as a wife and just as the version of myself. So as we keep going here, let's talk about what in the world could be possible for you in the next 6 weeks. So 10 of you commented on Facebook that you lost over an average of over 20 pounds in 6 weeks, so which is absolutely bananas. So the 10 people that commented on our post lost 204 pounds. Y'all, that's like a refrigerator. That is so stinking cool. And here's some of the things that they said that they felt. They felt lighter. They had more energy. Somebody had dropped 2 pant sizes and they were more confident. So what I would love to know from you, if you would like any of these things to happen in your world in the next 6 weeks, would you pop a 1 in the chat? We would love to see that. And I'm sure, yep, they're all those ones, right? Everybody wants that success. So I would love to know from you, what would you like to see happen in the next 6 weeks? Think about that. And as you're hearing stories tonight, I want you to think about what it is that you want and what decision are you ready to make? All right. So let me give you my top tips on how to have success. Okay, my first tip, and I need to tell you, number one, I'm a little bit of a dork, but I'm just going to kind of go with it. So, we're all about the 5 and 1. So tonight I've got 5 and 1 tips on success for you. So the first tip for you is to follow your plan, whether that is the 5 and 1, the 4 and 2, the 3 and 3, whatever you've worked out with your coach, follow that plan. And pro tip, if you are following the plan, that means you are weighing and measuring the lean and green as well. I am always shocked at the difference weighing and measuring has in your overall results. So if you aren't weighing and measuring, definitely start. I double dog dare you, and you will love the impact that it will make to your results. Second tip is my favorite, and that is to check in with your coach every single week. We know that clients that check in with their coach have double the results. And we want you to have double the results. So make that call, make that appointment with your coach. I guarantee you they want to hear from you and they want to encourage you. And the thing, I still talk to my coach. I need my coach maybe now more than ever. And I love talking to my coach because it's my time where I can think about what I need. And I know a lot of people on this call right now, I see you, and you don't have your time, right? So take that time for yourself. It will benefit in so many different areas of your life. Okay, third tip, watch out for those sneaky things like the BLTs, which we call bites, licks, and tastes, those nuts. Oh my goodness. If you don't count out your nuts, sometimes we all get a little nutty, right? So we want to count out our nuts. Hacks, what do we always say? When you hack your fuelings, you hack your results, right? So watch out for those hacks because we don't want you to hack your results. And of course, I have to do a big announcement right now for those gummy vitamins or gummy melatonins. I have helped 3 clients this week who were not having the results that they wanted. And the reason why was they were taking a gummy vitamin or gummy melatonin. So if you are, it likely has too many carbs for fat burn. So be on the lookout for that. Fourth tip, drink your water. Just drink your water. If you're a client of mine, if you talk to me, and you haven't had your water yet, I'll stop right there and challenge you to 10 big gulps. So if you've got water near you right now, just pick it up and take 10 big gulps and you will feel so great. Okay, the fifth tip, I love all that water. Yes, yes, that's awesome. Okay, so the fifth tip is to show up for community. Show up here on Tuesday nights, show up in the Facebook group. We're going to be posting every morning at 7 a.m. So just show up, show up. And then it brings me to my last top tip, which might be the most important tip, and that is to keep going. Always keep going. You know, I heard from a client who was afraid to sign up for the Summer Slimdown Challenge. I don't know if that resonates with anybody. And I asked why, and they said, well, what if I fail? And so that resonates with me, right? But I asked her, well, what does it mean to fail? So I'm going to challenge you. What does it mean to fail? In my mind, we only fail when we give up on ourselves and when we give up on our goals and our dreams. So as long as you don't quit, as long as you keep going and you keep showing up and you keep contending, you will be where you want to be. All right. I love this quote. I wanted to give this quote to you tonight. Weight loss doesn't begin with a dumbbell. It starts with a decision. And Tony Sorensen said this, but that is so true. To decide means to cut off all other alternatives, right? To just decide it's over. So make the decision that you're going to be all in this 6 weeks, and let's see what happens. All right. So I'm excited to introduce my friend, Jessie. So Jessie, would you come off mute and share your story with us?
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, hey, everyone. My name's Jessie Douglas. I have been on the program, just about 5 months. And I started at my third all-time high. And, you know, Meg's going to show a before and after picture here soon. But I just didn't recognize myself in the mirror. I felt like that couldn't possibly be me when I looked at pictures. And I have a pretty outgoing nature. I love to go shopping. And, you know, I kept buying and buying and I just wasn't fulfilled. And it affected a lot of my different parts of my life, like my marriage, my friendships, and, you know, how I showed up for my kids. I found that I didn't have any pictures of myself with my kids. It was just my 2 little boys. And, you know, that really, really hurt my heart. And I saw someone on Facebook, my coach, Emily Diamond, and she was, you know, dropping these pounds. And I'm sure most of you have tried a lot of different programs. And I know I had Atkins, Weight Watchers, Beachbody, 21 Day Fix. And I didn't see the kind of results. So I just called Emily and said, hey, like, how are you losing these pounds? And through that, you know, came a meeting with Emily and Meg, and it just helped me discover, you know, I really put limits to myself on what I thought I could achieve. Initially, I said I wanted to lose 50 pounds, but as the weight came off, I have moved that number, you know, to 60 or 70. And fast forward 5 months, never would I think that I could even set a weight loss goal of 60 to 70. But I've lost 42 pounds in 5 months. And let me tell you, it has been a lot easier than I thought it would. But I have not been perfect. So a tip that I would love to give each and every one of you, I'm stealing this from Meg, is every day you're making a decision and it's about progress. It's not about being perfect. And I have not been perfect at all. And that's okay to still be able to have gone on vacation, you know, 2 little mini trips, to have an occasional cocktail. And my thing is when I do make a decision that's not on plan, I just go right back and say, okay, like my next meal or tomorrow, like I'm starting over. And I haven't gotten into the downward mindset of, oh, well, you know, I ate pizza yesterday, so I'm just going to ruin my whole weekend. So during this challenge, I would love, for you all to really embrace that and just know that if you make a mistake or you make a choice to eat that food, it's okay. Just go ahead and know that the decisions that you are making and the choice that you're doing by doing this program, like you're making an investment in yourself, and no one is perfect. So yeah, it's been a great ride. Like I said, I'm reaching for that 60-pound mark. But this challenge for me was really about, I set a goal of 50 pounds by my birthday. So I am going to reach that 50 pounds by my birthday weekend. And, I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. I'm actually eating a salad. I didn't right now as we speak, where I could have had Italian at my work event. So just again, making those decisions. So thanks for letting me chat, everybody.
Oh, Jessie, that was awesome. You'll put some love for Jessie in the chat. You got to read what people are saying, Jessie, because you were just incredible. I love that you said, just do the next right thing. It's progress, not perfection. I mean, that was brilliant. And, Carol Quintero is a coach on our team. And she says, with Optavia, we see as far as we can see, and then we can see further. And you're a perfect example of that. You couldn't imagine losing 60 pounds, right? But now you can, now you know. So I just love that. I love your story. It's so inspiring. I'm excited to introduce you next to my friend, Katie. I met Katie for the first time last week on a call celebrating her progress, and she blew me away with some of the choices that she was making as a teacher in Teacher Appreciation Week. So Katie, would you pop off mute and share with us a little bit about your story?
Yeah, hi. I just started, I think I just finished up 4 weeks, and last week was Teacher Appreciation Week. And if anybody's a teacher, you get food all the time. It's like we are spoiled. It is muffins, breakfast pizza, bagels, coffee, cookies, all in the same day for like 5 days straight. And so I packed myself a brownie every single day that week, knowing that I was going to see people eating all kinds of my favorite types of food, and that helped. My second graders at my lunch duty were drooling over my brownie, and I kept telling them it's protein. Kids can't have that. So it's kind of like one of those coffee things, but they would smell it and they would think it's good. And I was like, yeah, it's because everybody's eating donuts. I'm trying to eat healthy. So I don't know. It was really tempting, but I think last week on our celebration call, I had said I knew on day 3 that I could actually do this when we had another celebration with lots of my favorite foods. And I was able to go into the lounge and celebrate the person that was like retiring, leaving, and then walk out without food. And I felt full. I felt satisfied. So it was just, I was on day 3. I had felt the changeover from just being tired all the time to getting energy. And I wanted to keep that up. And I decided that was better than the donut that I could have in my mouth for 5 minutes or less. So I think that's it.
I love that, Katie. I love your story. And I love that you showed us we make the main thing the main thing. The main thing about Teacher Appreciation Week isn't the snacks or the donuts, although we think it could be sometimes, right? But it's the feeling appreciated by your students and the parents and the staff, right? Like that's the main thing. Just like the main thing from the retirement party. It's not the cake, right? It's celebrating the person who's retiring. So the way that you knew what your goals were and you made decisions out of your goals, not out of the thing you wanted in the moment, was so incredible and so inspiring. I just felt like we had to celebrate you and talk about it. There is this quote by Michael Jordan, and it makes me think of you. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. And you are such a great example of that. So thanks, Katie, for sharing your story with us. Okay. Now I'm excited to introduce you. Y'all, aren't you loving these stories and seeing real people with these great success and the wins? Please pop some love for them in the chat. But now I'm excited to introduce you to one of my new friends, Ashley. And Ashley's a little firecracker. I mean, she has she is rocking it on plan. So Ashley, would you pop off mute and share with us a little bit about your journey? and she might be coming on a little bit later. So let's move on to my friend, Sarah. Now you are going to love getting to know Sarah. So Sarah, would you mind popping off mute and sharing your story? You are so inspiring.
Good evening, Meg, and good evening, everyone. I battled back and forth because I hate getting in front of people, and my heart is beating out of my chest. But if I, did not share my story, I don't feel like I would be doing myself or Optavia or anybody else justice. I am a mom of two, and I am a tiny bit of a crier. So if I have some tears, no judgment. I started last year around October. I went through I was diagnosed with breast cancer last year. And by the grace of God, we found me in stage 0. And so I only had to do surgery and radiation, and the Lord saw me through. But at the end of it, I was just in such a rut. I was way overweight. I just had my second baby 4 months before I was diagnosed. And I just felt gross, and my very best friend had done Optavia, and I'd watched her lose, 30 pounds. And I finally, in October, I think at the end of September, 1st of October, turned to my husband and said, I've got to do something. I feel like my whole world is spinning out of control. There's so many unknowns now that I felt like I had to get into control of something. And I knew that I could get in control of my health, and not only for, because that's the right thing to do. And we need to be healthy as humans and as women and men, for our families, for ourselves. But for me and my kids and my husband at the end of the day, and for, the cancer that I had just gone through, my doctors have said, many times, the lower your BMI, the better, the better your body is able to fight off, any residual cancer or anything like that. And so that has been such a driving force, and my why is staying alive for my children. My why is staying alive for my kids and my husband. And so my first goal was, okay, let me just get rid of this 30 pounds. I decided, that my husband and I decided together that I would stay home with my children. And I couldn't keep up with them. All of a sudden I was home with my 2 kids, and I couldn't get in the floor. I was very uncomfortable. And so I told Meg, I said, I want to lose 30 pounds. And then 30 pounds came off, and then 10 more pounds came off, and then almost 5 more pounds. I'm almost at the 45-pound mark since that point. So I'm with a lot of you. It has come off way faster than what I ever thought it could. And that is even with my journey of imperfections and my journey of, not being 100% compliant and going off plan, but then restarting and saying, no, bringing myself back in. Food is not going to win. Food is not going to be, the variant that drives my life. I need to fuel my body, and I need to fuel it, for cancer. I need to fuel it for my kids. I need to fuel it for me. And so anyway, I lost that weight. And then I got down to where I just wasn't moving. The scale was not moving. And I'm like, okay, this is not right. The scale should be moving. What is going on? And I sat with Meg. I texted her one morning, and I was like, I'm being reflective. I think I know what it is. And all of a sudden I decided that I was going to be like the Pinterest girl and get on Pinterest and start hacking my fuelings. And when I really started reading, and everybody should do that. We should all read. And so I did not do that in the beginning. I just thought, oh, this is cool. It's a fueling, and, I'm going to do something to maybe make it a little bit better, or taste a little bit different, or all of a sudden I'm eating my lean and green, but then I'm also eating another lean and I'm also, and all of a sudden I'm adding these additional calories, this additional fat, carbs, and I was not losing. And so anyway, I got that in check real fast. And within about 3 days, I dropped 5 pounds. And just going back to the basics, not hacking my fuelings, like finding food the fuelings that I loved, and, and reaching for those first. And if there was a fueling that I had that I didn't love the most, I maybe would have that in the middle of the day or something, or, maybe the first of the day when I wasn't as hungry, or, there were ways I kind of played in my mind, so that I was still, going through my food, but wasn't feeling like I needed to hack them as well. So anyway, thank you for listening to my story. I'm still on this journey. I would love to drop probably 25 more pounds, and that would put me at a healthy BMI for my height. And so thank you for listening, and thank you, Meg, for the opportunity to share.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for being brave, for showing up anyways, for just doing it. And I know that so many people were touched by what you shared tonight. I love that you said food is not going to win. You're just declaring it. You are a warrior. The other thing, I hope, what do we always say? Success leaves clues. So listen to Sarah's story of success. She got frustrated, and what did she do? She called her coach. She said, okay, something's not right. I know the plan works. I'm going to call my coach and we're going to figure it out. And then she did the next right thing. So bravo to you, Sarah. Thank you for sharing your story. Check out the comments. You've got lots of Raven fans going on right now. I'm now excited to introduce you to another one of my great friends that I just love. Her name is Lauren. So Lauren, would you come off of mute and share with us about your story?
All right. Hi. I'm so excited to share tonight. Meg, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I feel like I've had kind of two different journeys with Optavia. So my first one started in March of 2020. My twins were days away from turning 1 year old, and I got on the phone with Meg. They were taking a nap, and I was, at the highest weight I had been. I had spent the last year taking care of my twins that were born prematurely, and I was ready to start. And then of course the pandemic hit, and 2 months later I called Meg again, and I'm like, okay, this time I'm actually ready to start. So I got started in May of 2020, and I was all in on the 5 and 1, had the most wonderful experience. I was in my life book, at home, kind of hunkered down with my twins and my oldest daughter, and just went for it. And I could not believe the results. My goal was, I'm turning 35. I want to lose 35 pounds before I turn 35. And I lost 45 pounds before I turned 35. And I was just so amazed and excited and proud. And I was at the point where we were talking about transition. And then I decided, as crazy as it sounds, I'm going to have a 4th kid. So I got pregnant with my daughter, Rose, who is turning 1 in 2 days. And unlike last time, I wasn't going to wait until she was 1 year old to get started again. So a couple months postpartum, weighed myself, felt pretty good. I was like, wow, I'm only 20 pounds away from where I was when I got pregnant. Weighed myself a couple months later. Oh, wow, now I'm 40 pounds away from where I was. I had gained, just the weight over the time, having a newborn, having 3 kids at home. And so called Meg when she was 5 months old, and I said, all right, like, I'm not quite ready, but I'm interested. Like, what do I need to do? And so I think the biggest thing she told me was just, let's make some progress, like progress over perfection. You don't have to be so all in, and there are other plans out there for you. So I started the Nursing Moms plan, transitioned over to the 4 and 2, and then the 5 and 1 plan. And so here I am, a number of months into my second journey with Optavia. Definitely have had a different experience with the program, but another amazing experience with the program. Kind of like some of the previous people who were speaking, I have had times where I've had to start over and talk to Meg, and I'm not always weighing my food the way that I need to be weighing my food. but I'm back to where I was. And I'm going to go for another 10 pounds to really be at my optimal weight. And I'm just so excited. I'm celebrating my 10-year wedding anniversary later this year. And I just feel better than I felt 10 years ago, walking down the aisle. So, and I'm realizing that this isn't the end, but really it's just the beginning of being healthier for myself, for my kids. And I'm getting back in my life book, finally cracking that open with my daughter turning 1 in just a couple days. So thank you, Meg, for, always being there right next to me and working through everything.
Lauren, I love your story. Thank you for sharing with us. You've got to check out the comments. I love the way that you start where you are and you set goals and you get after it. And you are one of the most disciplined people I think I've ever known. So I just admire you so much. And thank you for sharing your story. It has inspired many people tonight. How cool is this that just a couple of days after Mother's Day, we heard from 4 different moms who have been rocking it on program. I just thought of that, but we didn't mean for that to happen, but it did. That's pretty cool. But I love the impact that it has been making in your life and in the lives of the people around you. So, there's a ripple effect that happens when we take care of us. It helps lots of other people. So I have a question for you. This challenge, the 6 weeks summer Slimdown challenge, goes until June the 20th. So where do you want to be on June 20th? That was our prompt today, to think about, where are we going to be? What's going to be happening that day? How are we going to be feeling 6 weeks from now? So I would just encourage you to think about that. Maybe pop it in the chat, what your plan is. And I would love to open it up. We do have time for 1 or 2 questions. Does anybody have any questions for any of these awesome rock star moms, or just questions about the challenge in general? We have time for 1 or 2. Oh, Tanya said she wants to be in a 2-piece bathing suit in 6 weeks. I love that. What else? Anybody want to share a challenge that they have, or something that they're proud of, something that's going well? It's hard to follow those incredible women, right? Is that what everybody's thinking? Lisa says she wants to have more energy, weight loss, better sleep. Micah wants to buy all new clothes. Go, girl. Nicole hopes to be at her first goal. Man, all of these things are popping in so fast. Feeling fit and confident for graduation. One of the things I would encourage you to think about in the next 6 weeks is think about a way to incentivize yourself at the end of the 6 weeks. Obviously, all of these things in the chat are going to be, great benefits, but what can you do to celebrate yourself? Maybe it's a massage. Maybe it's getting a manicure. Maybe it's a new outfit. What could it be? But find something that's not related to food, right? To incentivize yourself, something to look forward to doing. Walk. Ooh, I love that, Michelle. I could just read all of these. Feels like a lot of people want to feel confident in a bathing suit. The other, just as we're wrapping up, the last tip I would love to leave you with the Summer Slimdown Challenge is, I recommend that you write yourself a letter. So a letter to you, from you, in 6 weeks. So it's 6 weeks from now, you have succeeded. You've hit this goal that you just set out in the chat. How do you feel? How do you feel in a bathing suit? What kinds of activities are you doing more of? What kinds of activities are you doing less of? How are you navigating through the different relationships in your life? Are you playing with your kids or your grandkids or your nieces and nephews more? Are you more active in your everyday life? What did you do? Include in this letter, what did you do when things got hard? Did you hide? Did you run to your coach? Did you go back to your why? But write it down. And I just want to end with this one question. Is this going to be your marked moment? We've heard some powerful stories of transformation from people just like you, who haven't given up, who just do the next right thing, who keep going. And so we want to know, is this going to be your marked moment? We hope you will continue in on the challenge. Pop into the Facebook group every morning around 7 Eastern for the new post, and we will see you in the community. See you next week, y'all. Thanks to all of our speakers. Bye-bye.